Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. We're back in the van and I think I made a huge mistake. Hey everyone, so we are back from the Philippines where we went out and bought our condo and we started to make plans for our land that we bought out there. If you're interested in that, then check out the video here. But we're back in the van now and I think I made a big mistake. Something that I'm very lucky possibly didn't burn down my van. So if you've been following the build, you'll know that we bought this Mercedes Sprinter minibus and we've been converting it into our family luxury camper van. And we've got a lot of stuff done to it already. So we've already installed a bed, a kitchen. We started to do overhead lockers. We put in fans in the roof. So we've installed fans in the roof. We've installed all of the lighting in the roof. But it's the roof, me putting the roof up, that may have caused the biggest problem that we've had so far. Let me explain. So, when I bought the van, this is the first van that I've had that's actually had central locking on it. So, when we bought the van, you can see here, central locking locks and unlocks. And I thought everything was absolutely fine. Now, if I unlock it just now, oops, already locked, lock, unlock. Now I'm going to lock it again. Now you can hear that locking, and that one's locked. But the rear door, the side door, isn't locking at all. If we go to the back door, that's not locking either. Now, when I go to lock the car, you can't hear anything in the lock. When I go to unlock it, you can hear it. And I don't know why the central locking in the side door in the back has just stopped working, because it was working before I put up that roof. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why all of a sudden the sliding door and the rear door had just stopped locking, but the front two doors still lock. Now originally I thought because the front door, the driver's side door, I think it's got a stretch cable, so sometimes the handle will open and sometimes it won't. I haven't managed to fix that yet, but I took the whole door off and it's working, but it's still not locking. And to tell you the truth, it had that problem before and the central locking was still working. So I thought I might have blown a fuse. I didn't know if it had a separate fuse for the back. So I checked all the fuses in the car, in the van, under the seats, in the engine bay, everywhere. All the fuses are absolutely fine. So why is this not locking? Why has this just happened? Then I realised it stopped working after I put the ceiling up. So after I put all this wood ceiling up. So I went back and had a look at some of the footage, and this is what I found. So, as you can see from that footage, there's a wire that runs from here, the top of here, all the way to the end there, which I actually physically, I remember doing it, moving it out of the way and putting it up, and then covering over it with the insulation and the vapor barrier. But then it clocked to me. When I put the studs up for here to mount these boards up onto the side, I screwed battens into the top of those pillars. And I think I've screwed through wires in the van. This is not good because I've already installed the overhead cabinets on here, and I didn't just screw these tongue and groove boards up. I actually nailed them up onto the battens. I don't think it's the nails that have gone through the wire, because the nails were going into batten, they weren't going into wire. But I think that when I screwed the battens up, I think I've screwed into wire, and that is why that has stopped working. It's the only thing that I can think of. So now in this video, I've got to find a way to remove these battens, well, not these battens, sorry, these boards from the wall that I've nailed in with a nail gun, take away the vapor barrier, unscrew the battens from the top, and see if there's any wires that I've screwed through. I don't know how easy this is going to be without breaking any of the boards, and I don't have any more of these boards. These boards are ones that I got for free from an old construction site that was getting rid of them because they were all warped. So I've got to try and take these off without damaging any of them. Now this will come off. This will come off, no problem. That's just screwed in. There's screws there. I can see where the screws are. I can get them down, no problem. But I've got to find a way to take these boards off without breaking them, and then I've got to get the nails out and check everything. This is going to be one hell of a job. So let's get on it and see how we do.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed.
So as you can see here, these are all nailed in. I thought I was being clever by putting nails in because you don't really notice them as much as screws. But I now wish I had screwed them, because it would have been easy just to do, and that would have been it. But I think it'll be a test as well, because the one thing I was worried about is by putting these nails in is where they're going to last, having them on the wall with the vibration and everything. So if this is really hard for me to get off, it means I made a good choice with these nails. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do now and get these off. Well, I'm not going to lie, it was actually easier to take it off all in one go than it was to do it individually. So hopefully I'll be able to get it back up just as easy. You can see all the nails definitely went in to all of the battens, so that's not bad at all. Right. Let's have a look and see if we can find this wire now. Right, so I ended up taking the first board off of here as well at the top. That came off all right as well. Nothing broke, thank God, so that's all good. Now I'm going through, I've exposed all of the wires by just cutting this away. Now obviously I can put all this back after, and I'm going to tape it all up with the aluminium foil tape, so I'm not too worried about it. Now, where I had screws in, that seems to be all right. That there, hold on, I'm just trying to look at this camera. That there seems to be fine. That one there is fine. There. Let me just. Sorry, let me just get this camera there. That bit's fine. But then when we get right to the back, so the very, very last one. I don't know if you can see in there, let me put some light on it. Here we get a little bit closer. screw right through it, and all of the wires are exposed and got through. Ugh. So I think we found where the problem is, and it was just right on the last one as well. Just going to get you a better close-up of that. Right, so now we know where I've gone wrong. I can't believe I did that. Honestly, cannot believe I did that. I've screwed straight through every last one of those wires. I think there's about 2 of them that are still attached. No wonder the central locking isn't working anymore. So, what I've got to do now is take those wires down, unclip them from everything. I'm going to cut them back slightly on each side, and then I'll have to run new wires and connect them all up individually. In a way, I'm happy that I found it, but in another way, I'm completely gutted with myself that I didn't think of it. And I saw the wires there when I was putting up the installation, I was putting them on, and I actually moved them out of the way, to thinking to myself, I've got to be careful not to screw into those wires.
Congratulations on your epic fail!
Well, at least we now know where the problem is, so I can now get some wires, reconnect them all up, and hopefully, I haven't blown anything. Like a module, like one of I can fix this, and then I'm hoping that once it's all fixed, it'll all start working again. If it doesn't, it may mean that I've blown one of the central locking modules somewhere, and I don't know where they are. So, fingers crossed, this fixes the problem. If it does, we're on to a winner. One of the main reasons why I wanted a newer van as well is for central locking. The last van I had wasn't central locking. I had to go down and lock every single door individually. And the problem with this Mercedes Sprinter van is that I can't lock it from the inside. The back door will lock. I can manually lock the back door, but I cannot manually lock the sliding door. Which side is it? It's that side. I can't manually lock the sliding door from inside. So unless I got it fixed, I wouldn't be able to lock the van. So I don't have any wires just now to fix that. I'm going to have a quick look and see if I've got any wires. If I do, then I'll get them fixed. But I don't have any solder. I'm going to go and get some solder. Once I get the solder, I'll come back and do this. The weather outside is absolutely atrocious at the moment as well. I don't know if you can see outside. It is pouring down with rain. So I'll have a look online just now, see where's available to go and get some solder, and then we'll take it from there and see what we're doing. Catch you in a minute.
3 hours later.
Right, so got some solder. I've soldered them up, and I have, sorry, let me get that light out of the way. I have soldered them up, and I have heat shrunk everything together, extended the wires. Turns out there's 10 wires up there, maybe a little bit more. And I'd managed to screw through 6 of them. But that is what it's looking like now. I've extended all the wires, soldered them, heat shrunk them all, put them up, and that now should, in theory, have sorted it out. So all that's left to do now is to go outside and see if the central locking is working. Let's go out and give it a go and let's see. Right, got the key. Let's go outside and give this a go. Let's see what it looks like. So, let's now close the door. If you remember before, the lights weren't even flashing here, and these weren't locking. Let's give it a go. Lock. Let these lights flash. Oh, they're flashing. Are we locked? Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Let's check the back doors as well. Is the back door locked? Oh yes. Right. Let's now unlock. Lights flashed. Have we got? Has it unlocked? Yes, baby. Let's try it again. Lock. Flash. Oh, thank God for that.
Yes! I am invincible.
Yes, it is working. Unlock again. There we go. So, after hours and hours in the background checking fuses, taking off door panels, everything to try and find out what was wrong with the central locking, it turns out it's just my fault. I screwed through the wires. Cannot believe that.
So he's an idiot.
It just goes to show you, be careful where you're screwing into. I knew that those wires were there because I remember when I put them up, when I put the insulation in, I moved those wires to saying to myself, I've got to remember not to screw into them. Then, because I covered them all with the vapor barrier, when I went to screw up the battens for these battens for the panels to go onto, I couldn't see where those wires were and I completely forgot about them. I'm glad that that is all it was and it wasn't anything else like a module or something like that, because that would have been, I think that would have started to be expensive. But now I can lock the van. I was starting to take everything in with me every single night because I was getting worried that things were going to get stolen. It was wide open, but now I don't have to take everything in with me every single night. I can lock up the van knowing that it's going to be safer. So all I've got to do now is I'm going to put these battens back up before I close all the vapor barriers up to make sure that I don't screw into anything again. Then I'll put some of the foil tape over the rip that I created where I cut open the vapor barrier to find those wires. I'll tape up those wires at the end as well just to make them all nice and tidy, and then put the panels back on. But I'll do that later on. There's a few other little wires and things that I want to run while I've got this down anyway, because my plan is this weekend is to get the battery in. So I've got an eco-worthy 280 amp hour battery that I took out of my old van, which we're going to be putting back in here. I'm also going to be installing my MPPT controller, my inverter, all of these things. So that's coming up in the next video. But I've got things that I need to run while this is down, so it's probably a good thing that now that I've got them down, I'll just get them done as well. This is just a really quick video. This has been bugging me for a long time since we did that roof. It's been bugging me that I could not get the central locking working. I did not know what it was. So this was a quick video just to show yourself, don't be idiots like me. Watch where you're screwing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content, then drop a subscribe, drop a like in the bottom, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys.